Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me today for the Libra November Horoscope. Well, you've got a number of things happening, lucky Libra, in the month of November. Firstly, there is a T-square which involves Sun, Saturn and Uranus. So there could be some tensions there. It particularly affects your money and also shared resources. I'll talk about that in a moment. There's a lunar eclipse going on, and there's also a beautiful little thing called a minor grand trine, and I'll talk about those too when I come to your horoscope in depth. But just to briefly explain, I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you. Then we'll have a look at your horoscope in depth, and then I'll do a psychic channeling at the end. Whatever comes out of my mouth comes out, basically. There's no filter, which is sometimes interesting. Okay, so let's go to the board now. If you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, so here's your horoscope, but let's first look at these 2 cards. If you want to think in terms of time, you can think of the first card indicating the first 2 weeks of the month, and the second card the last 2 weeks of the month approximately. That gives you a sort of approximate time frame. Okay, it's always good to see what's in the cards and compare that to your actual horoscope, because it's amazing how well they work in together. Alright, card number 1, the first 2 weeks. Let's go with that one there. Closing my eyes now. What do I see? Okay, there's a door closing here in front of me. I see a sharp knife. That's the influence of Mars. So something's being cut off. Something from the past you're letting go of so that you can move forward. Mars is here in your second house. There's a lot of activity there in your horoscope. Okay, so you're going to cut some, if you're in business, you might let go of somebody, or there's something about becoming more efficient, new procedures, that sort of thing. Or you might do a budget up if you're not in business, or even if you are in business, you might do a budget and stick to that and become more efficient. Okay, the card that comes out is the Ace of Wands. This is a new cycle directed by Spirit. It's a very fiery, passionate sort of energy where you take action. There's a lot of growth and opportunity here with these leaves. In the background you see this cloud. It's like there's some sort of confusion or doubt, perhaps you're not sure, but then it becomes clearer, and Spirit gives you an opportunity to take action. It's coming down through your crown chakra here, because here's the crown of the crown chakra with a whole lot of green little buds on the top. So Ace of Wands is all about a new beginning, and the source of spiritual strength is flowing through you. Okay, so it's a seed of creation, a seed of inspiration to get going on a new project. Okay, so that's lovely. Okay, so the second card for the month for you, lucky Libra. Let's have a look. No. Let's go with that one. Okay, closing my eyes. What do I see for Libra in November 2021? News. This is like snail mail. I'm looking at letters. So news coming through. Okay, particularly to do with overseas, or somebody who has overseas connections. There's like something to do with overseas here. You could be talking to people who live in another country or chatting to them or something like that. There's some sort of opportunity here, but it's not clear or apparent initially. But over time, it becomes clearer. There's like a fairy godmother here with a wand which has got a star on the top. This is like something you'd see, a children's animation, a cartoon or something like that. But this wand that she has with the star, it's about blessing you and also hope for the future. It's a very positive influence. Okay, the card that comes up is the Four of Pentacles. This is to do with your money. And there, as you can see here, there is a lot going on with your money. Something might be rather tight financially for some of you. Sometimes it's possessions too. And that could be take any sort of number of things. You might be looking for something to buy, but you can't find it. Or you have to put in a lot of effort to find what you want, even if you have the money. You've come across things, but they're not quite right. But Spirit is saying there is a way through here. So there's like challenges on either side and another mountain at the back. So there's challenges, yes, certainly, but there's a way through, a pathway that you can walk along to get where you're going to go. Now, this is actually a rock, but it really looks like a laptop. So there's some sort of online connection here with this. There's coins in the front, indicate change around your money or change around your possessions. Maybe your body, but not so much, okay? So don't let the worries or the fears influence you. Just keep on keeping on, doing your work to get the job done, okay? So bear those two cards in mind. It's very interesting. All right, I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see. All right, I'll put that one down there. Four of Pentacles as well. Okay. All right, so we're going to talk about this T-square firstly. With the Sun in Scorpio here in your second house, there's insight and awareness around your money, and you're likely to feel it at a very deep level. The insight is sort of compelling about what you're supposed to do. And then we have a square, so there's a tension, or that's called, like another word for it is a hard aspect to Uranus in Taurus in the house of shared resources. Now, this is a bit unusual what I'm saying, because most people would interpret this as that you're going to have some sort of trouble with money. However, it may be also you have trouble putting your money where you need to put it. It's not necessarily that you're going to lose money or anything like that. It could be you just don't know where to invest it. And it is quite difficult at the moment because the interest rates are very low. And perhaps you don't want to do the risky thing and invest in, say, cryptocurrency or something like that. It's always sensible, really, to be investing in health and things that baby boomers, the people who have the disposable income, invest in what they're interested in or things like that. But I'm not here to give you investment advice. I'm just saying that there is a definite tension in deciding where you're going to put your money, or perhaps if you don't have the amount of money that you would like, there's tension or stress in trying to get more money. Now, then we have hard aspects, squares to Saturn in Aquarius in the 5th house of creativity. And it's also romance, and it can be entertainment. So you want to make sure you don't flit your money away on useless sorts of things. You want to be very practical with your money because Saturn here, it's all about a balance, because Saturn can say don't spend any money at all on anything and you're not to have a fun time ever again, because Saturn is a bit stern. So you want to get the balance. It's not about you never go out and have a good time. Of course you can go out and have a good time, but you just don't want to waste money. That's basically it. Okay, so a whole, big decisions to be made about your money this month. However, we have a beautiful thing here called a minor grand trine, which is 2 sextiles here and a trine between your sign, Mercury in Libra in your sign, Venus in Sagittarius in your 3rd house of communications and promotions, and also Jupiter in your 5th house in Aquarius. In Aquarius, yes. And so you might have brilliant ideas coming up and you want to change your identity a little bit. And that could go quite smoothly and quite swimmingly. And you want to communicate and socialise and get out and about, especially in your local area. 3rd house is all about dealing with people in your local environment. Okay, and Jupiter here in Aquarius in the 5th house boosts your creativity, boosts your chances for romance and entertainment, you know. So we have this going on, but at the same time we have this. So it's all about balance, basically. There's a lunar eclipse here in your 8th house of shared resources joining Uranus. And so there could be some unpredictable things come up. You could win some money, or you could unexpectedly lose some money. So do watch that, you know, with the Uranus, because it's very unpredictable and quite volatile. So it's like something that happens out of the blue. If you are psychic, though, you might get your intuitions or clairvoyant sort of flashes telling you in advance. All right, so this is quite an important month for you. And the 31st to the 2nd of November sees the Sun conjuncting the Sun. You're likely to receive some sort of recognition and to stand out of the crowd. People sort of approve of your message and they recognise you. So do appreciate who you are as a unique individual. Okay, you could be filled with new energy, vitality, and a sense of purpose. Money is on your mind. Then we have 4th of November, 2nd house has the new moon here, all about money, possessions, personal belongings, and also your, the things that you value, basically. Do secure your valuables and your finances. It's like I said before, don't spend money on an impulse or a whim. Try to buy things that have practical value, because Saturn likes that. 4th of November to the 5th of March 2022, Venus moves into your 4th house here of home and family. You could be making your home more beautiful or encouraging beautiful relationships with family members. You could also invite people, friends to your home, and there's sort of celebrations or, evenings with friends and family. So it's very good for entertaining. 4th of the month to the 24th of the month, Mercury in your 2nd house brings negotiations and communications about finances and commercial transactions. And you're thinking about how you manage your resources. It's a great time to consult with a financial planner or an accountant and get your business affairs in order if you have a business. And if you don't, you still have, taxes or whatever things, loans, that sort of thing to get in order. This 8th house here can sometimes indicate something to do with inheritances or the legal aspects around wills and things like that, as well as loans and shared resources. So Mars conjuncts the Sun from the 11th to the 14th, and again you're likely to have a burst of energy. You feel more vigorous and bold. Do watch for impatience and irritability, however, because Mars is a bit like that. Do also watch for anger, because you could be easily ticked off about something. Best to compromise with other people on small matters that are not very important to you if you can. 19th of November sees a lunar eclipse here that I just spoke about before, and as well as these concerns about money and jointly held assets and property, you could be reacting to situations as you always have, rather than like looking at the subject or the topic again, looking at the issue with brand new eyes. It's like the past, you just sort of roll straight into those old emotions. Your emotions are likely to be more intense than usual, so watch that you don't overreact to something. 18th to the 21st, Venus trines Uranus. This brings unexpected pleasures, New friends, you're likely to be feeling quite adventurous and playful. It's a great time to have a break from your usual routine because you feel like experimenting and being spontaneous, perhaps. A new romance or the rejuvenation of a current relationship is quite likely. 20th to the 21st of December, the sun moves into your third house here of communications and promotions. It's also a time when you might be thinking about studying and you want to broaden your life in some way, but you're likely to be quite busy and active, running lots of errands and following the business of everyday life and doing what you have to do. There could be a restlessness there as well, and you might fritter away time in unusual ways, or perhaps socialising. That's okay. Chatting with your neighbours and associates, that's a good thing for your relationships. 23rd of November to the 13th of December, Mercury also in your third house here, joining all the fun. And so this gives you a lot of intellectual curiosity and mental restlessness. It's time for frequent outings and short excursions in your local area. Could also be some contact with a distant family member, like a cousin or a sibling that you haven't had much contact with recently. If you're in business, it's a great time for a field trip. Okay, travelling for business purposes. 28th of November to the 1st of December, Mars trines Neptune. You're likely to be feeling like you want to relax. You're quite receptive. And there's a certain sort of aimlessness or just go with the flow type feeling at the moment. Maybe you want to avoid stressful confrontations. And you're not as ambitious as usual. On the positive side, your imagination is quite stimulated, and you're looking for exciting and colourful entertainment and activities. 29th of November to the 2nd of December, Venus sextiles Neptune. You're very receptive and appreciative of beauty. You want to be surrounded by harmony and kindness. That's great. You may feel tender and gentle towards other people. Maybe you can help somebody out in some way. Your generosity will make you feel happy as well as the other person. 30th of November to the 2nd of December, Sun trines Chiron. You're likely to receive favourable responses to your ideas. And somebody in authority or somebody that you respect admires you or approves of what you're trying to do. Take a break from your usual routine and try something different now. 20th of November to the 15th of December, Saturn squares the Sun. Okay, so all those beautiful influences I just described also there, but this one, Saturn squaring the Sun, brings frustrations and obstacles, okay? The people you thought that were receptive to your ideas, maybe they turn away for some time, or you just can't contact them, or they don't have time to deal with something. Could be difficulties with employers or other authority figures. However, if you just be patient and change your approach slightly, becoming more logical, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for logic and some sort of analytical ability to see that you've analysed the situation. That will help a lot. You may even think about changing your job, okay, at this stage, because it's like things in the world are happening faster and faster, and if you're blocked by Saturn squaring the Sun, that can bring a lot of frustration, and you don't feel like you can move as quickly as you would like. Okay, it's important that you believe in yourself and maintain your commitments to the really important things in your life, but let go of those other things that are not so important. Okay, it's great to be efficient and cut out, the dead wood. You just don't need it, and life is simpler without some things or some people. some people might try and help you, but they're not on your path, they're on their own path. So although they might try to help you, it doesn't really help you because their path is different to yours. 28th of November to the 12th of December, Jupiter sextiles Venus. This sort of makes up for it because it's excellent for personal relationships and friendships. And you can share your feelings and your interests more openly and honestly with other people, including your family perhaps. And you may also be more willing and ready to receive suggestions from other people. If you did have an issue with somebody, this is a time when an olive branch can be offered. They may offer it to you, or somebody apologises, or whatever the problem was, the wall comes down a little bit, just a little bit, and that helps. So this is a really favourable time for greater appreciation, love and respect for all sorts of people, including those involved in your business dealings and professional associations. There's a positive and harmonious atmosphere at work, and any contracts that you sign now are likely to work out quite successfully in the long run. And then we have 23rd of November to the 17th of December, Saturn sextiles Chiron. And this is also good because it gives you a greater sense of purpose and direction in your career or in your general life direction. Okay, you're going to let go of some old ideas that are no longer relevant at the moment. You'll have also the opportunity to learn or try out different procedures or practices at work, and your career is likely to benefit in the long run. Something that seemed difficult or impossible to deal with can be resolved or healed, and relationships with parents and elders are rewarding at the moment. And you're likely to learn some important life lessons. Wisdom and guidance comes to you from other people. So that's fabulous. Now I'm just going to close my eyes and see what I can see for you, lucky Libra, for November 2021. Okay, so I've got these sort of curvy type shapes, and the colour is aqua blue, so patterns. This is quite creative, and these sort of blue curvy shapes. So there's this sort of femininity associated with this, and it's like you're really getting in touch with Venus, who is your ruler. Venus also rules Taurus as well, but Taurus tends to be more earthy, and Libra is, of course, an air sign. So these are patterns, and they're just fun to play around with, and they make your life more interesting. But the colours are very bright. They're actually pastels, but they're quite bright pastels, if that makes sense. So quite beautiful and feminine. And it's just going to enhance your life. There's a lot here about your home, making your home beautiful, which did come up in the horoscope, but it's just being emphasised here. I get someone opening a book of life, and it's opened up in front of me, and it's like pages being ripped out. Old pages, you just don't need that anymore. So old ideas you have, and you might have been feeling down, like in October, you might have been a bit depressed or feeling down and really wondering, are you on the right track? And that's happening because in November you're going to rip all of that out and bring in these much brighter colours. So it's like it's coming up, the energy of, wondering if you're doing the right thing, or you could have done it better, or just feeling sad for no particular reason. That's coming up because it's going to go the way of the dodo in November. Okay, you can deal with it, and this will be a final hurrah or a final goodbye for some of these issues that have been plaguing you for a very long time. Okay, say goodbye, because off they go. There could be people involved in that, but I feel like you've already let go of them. And you mightn't have seen them for a long time, but there's still some spiritual sort of connection with them. And sometimes you pick that up and you can sort of feel sad that it didn't work out, but that's how it goes. And you can finally say goodbye. They're just showing me a nail. It's like hit the nail on the head. So they're just confirming to me that that's right, what I'm telling you. Okay, so the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new life for you, lucky Libra. Okay, and right at the time that I'm doing this, of course, it's your birthday month too. So happy birthday, and happy birthday to all the early Scorpios coming up. All right, well, that's it, everyone. I hope this is useful for you. Leave a like, leave a comment, share on your socials. I would really love that. And also, if you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Most importantly, have a fabulous month, and I know you will. Okay, bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.